Okay guys, this first video is going to be on multi-step equations, and you're going to see in these problems there's distributive property. And the steps when you're looking at multi-step equations is you're first going to do the distributing first, okay? So if you see parentheses, that means distribute. You're going to combine like terms, and then you're going to move the variables to one side by either subtracting or adding. And then remember, the whole goal is to get the x or whatever variable it is all by itself, okay? So let's go through a couple of problems. Here's the first example. The example is negative 3 times x plus 2 equals 162. Okay, so for this problem, you see that you have these parentheses, and that means to go ahead and distribute. So you're going to use the distributive property. And we're going to take whatever's on the outside multiplied by whatever's on the inside first term and then the second term. So we're going to do it like this: negative 3 times 8x plus negative 3 again times 2, and that equals 162. Remember, these two equations are equivalent. We're just simplifying, okay? So now we're going to take negative 3 times 8x, and that becomes negative 24x plus negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. Again, bring down the 162. So now we have negative 24x plus negative 6 equals negative 162. You know, this is the same thing as saying negative 24x minus 6 equals 162, because adding a negative, this is a negative, and we're adding a negative, which is the same as subtraction, right? So now we have a two-step equation. So what we're going to do is the whole goal is to get that x by itself. So we're going to take care of the constant first. So let's go ahead and add 6 on both sides. These cancel out. We're going to bring down our negative 24x equals, this is 168. And then we have negative 24x equals 168. We're going to divide by negative 24 because it's the inverse operation, and we're going to do it on both sides. These guys cancel out. That would be like 1x, right? So we have x equals negative, and that works out to negative 7. So that's it. Fairly straightforward. I'm going to give you one more problem, and then you'll be on your way to doing this on your own. This is the same sort of problem, except now not only do we have to distribute, we have another term there, next term. So I'm going to, once again, do the distributive property, but I'm going to bring down this 7x because I don't want to forget about it. I'm going to add 2 times x plus 2 again times 6. And if you forgot how to do the distributive property, I recommend you go back and try that. Refresh your memory with that. Okay, so equals 39. So now we have 7x, bring it down, plus 2 times x is just 2x, plus 2 times 6 is 12, equals 39. Okay, now I see that I have two terms that are like terms, and I can combine these. So 7x plus 2x is 9x, plus 12 equals 39. Now again, I have a two-step equation, so I'm going to subtract 12 on both sides. These guys cancel out. I bring down the 9x equals, and I subtract. 9x equals 27. I'm going to divide by 9 because that's the inverse operation here. I'm going to divide by 9 on both sides, and that gives me my x on its own, which is what I wanted, and 27 divided by 9 equals 3. That's it. That's how you do multi-step equations with distributive property. And if you have any questions about this, please go ahead and replay the video and you know, practice on your own, okay? And then I will be doing another multi-step equations video without distributive property next. Okay, thanks.